Nobel Prize-winning writer Ernest Hemingway and his masterpiece novel, The Old Man and the Sea. Ernest Hemingway was an American novelist and short story writer. He was born in 1899 and he passed away in 1961. In 1954, he won the Nobel Prize for Literature for his novel, The Old Man and the Sea. American and British fiction in the 20th century was greatly influenced by his succinct and lucid prose style. Ernest Hemingway's novel, The Old Man and the Sea, was published in 1952. This novel could be his magnum opus. The Old Man and the Sea was selected as 1954's most outstanding work in an ideal direction in the literature category, because of Hemingway's powerful, style-forming mastery of the art of modern narration. Ernest Hemingway uses some different writing techniques in this novel. That's why this novel is very important for him, and also for literature. First of all, we should ask ourselves some questions from The Old Man and the Sea. For example, who is Ernest Hemingway? Which characters mentioned in the novel, and who are they? Why his book, The Old Man and the Sea, is very important for him and also for literature? What are the literary devices he used in the novel? Which technique he used in the novel? What are the themes in the novel? Etc. First question is, who is Ernest Hemingway? Ernest Miller Hemingway, July 21st, 1899, July 2nd, 1961, was an American novelist and short story writer known for his unique writing style, characterized by simplicity and understatement, often referred to as the iceberg theory. He worked as a journalist, served as an ambulance driver during the World War I, and he is interested in some activities like hunting and fishing. His stories were impacted by this lifestyle. We can give some examples of his important works. They are For Whom the Bell Tolls, The Sun Also Rises, and A Movable Feast.
The second question is, which characters are mentioned in the novel, and who are they?
First character is Santiago. He is also the protagonist of the novel. He is an experienced old fisherman. He is a proud, ambitious, and skilled man. He has not been able to fish for a long time. Other character is Manolin. He is a hopeful boy. He respects de Santiago, and he knows he is a skilled, experienced fisherman. He always believes in him. Third question is, why his book, The Old Man and the Sea, is very important for him and also for literature. This novel is a masterpiece of Hemingway. This novel won the Nobel Prize in 1954 because of Hemingway's narration style. This novel also personal. Santiago, the old fisherman, actually reflects the Hemingways himself, because Santiago achieves success in the last days of his life. He managed to catch a very big fish.
Santiago fed the fish to the sharks, yet he still proved his experience and wisdom. And throughout this process, he never once considered giving up. Hemingway won the Pulitzer Prize with this novel in the last days of his life. He achieves success at the end of his life. That's why this situation reflects himself. For literature, this book changed the way literature is used, because Hemingway used totally different technique in this book. This technique was the iceberg theory. The iceberg theory is briefly minimalism in writing. Hemingway believed that the deep meaning of a story should not be obvious, and that it should hold meaning by keeping sentences simple and indirect. He kept the sentences simple and let the reader to understand. Other question is, what are the literary devices he used in the novel? Ernest Hemingway, he used too many literary tools to illustrate character analyses,
uphold the story's cohesion, and enhance its thematic elements. He used literary devices because he wanted to make a strong literary language in his novel. What are these devices? For example, symbolism. The Marlin. The Marlin represents Santiago's challenge against nature, also his dream and pride. Sharks. They represent the challenges that a person faces in their journey to success and difficulties in nature. Lions. They represent Santiago's dreams, his lost youth, strength, and ambition. The sea. The sea represents nature itself, the beauty, the magic, and also the danger in nature. Challenge is unexpected in the nature. The old man speaks himself that represents his loneliness. Imagery. Hemingway used imagery in the novel to describe the setting, sea, marlin, and physical situation of Santiago. For example, visual. The clouds over the land now rose like mountains, and the coast was only a long green line with the gray-blue hills behind it. Auditory. Then it began to make a slow hissing sound in the water. Olfactory. He smelled the tar and oakum of the decks he slept, and smelled the smell of Africa. Oh, tactile. Then he felt the gentle touch on the line, and he was happy. Irony. There is a situational irony. Santiago catching the marlin only to lose it to sharks. His greatest triumph is simultaneously a great loss. Other question is which technique he used in the novel. This is very important question, because this technique has totally changed the literature. The iceberg theory, also known as the theory of omission. This is the writing style and literary technique that coined by Ernest Hemingway. He kept his sentences simple, but the whole meanings lie beneath that. We can see just little piece of ice, but there is more that we cannot see. The iceberg theory is briefly minimalism in writing. Last question is, what are the themes in the novel? There are a couple themes that we can give example. For example, perseverance and resilience. His struggles against the marlin and the sharks reflects the resilience of human spirit in the face of adversity. Defeat versus triumph. Even though Santiago loses marlin to the sharks, his struggle is portrayed as kind of triumph. The dignity of struggle and suffering. The novel emphasizes the proud of him he proved his experience. Isolation and loneliness. Santiago lives alone, and his only friend is Manolin. Man versus nature. It's about the challenges between man and nature, and also man versus himself. As a conclusion, Ernest Hemingway coined these techniques for the literary world, and he became a pioneer for this writing style. The iceberg theory is a very strong technique to make a deep, meaningful writings. Briefly, the iceberg theory is minimalism in writing, but in the background, there is more than we can see. There is not a small piece of work, sentences, or meaning. There is more under the surface. We can see just the small piece of ice on the surface, on the water. But under the surface, under the water, there is an ice mountain. To be able to see it, we need to question and think deeply. That's why this technique is so strong and powerful. That's why Ernest Hemingway won the Nobel Prize